Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for his speech. I will say for sure that unfortunately the member and I don't see eye to eye on some of the environmental concerns. But as a member who represents a more rural and remote riding, I understand that using our resources is really important. And in my riding, dairy farmers are very concerned. I have several dairy farms in my riding, and they're very concerned about the changes that are happening and the impacts that it will have on their communities. And I think, when we look at the reality, one of the things I would like to hear the member speak on is when we look at trade agreements, how can we start to do a better job of remembering the rural and remote communities where we have those huge impacts if we're not thoughtful in moving forward? I would love to hear how the member plans to move towards some really meaningful climate activism that we need to do across this country. We have not done well in our emissions in this country, but let's just leave it on the rural and remote and making sure that as trade agreements are negotiated, that lens is put in place. I feel that they're not looked at seriously enough at this point. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
For Red Deer Mountain View.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for her question. I think one of the things that one should recognize is in the CETA agreement there were discussions between the dairy industry and the government, and they went forward so that they understood what it was that was happening. And they understood as well that there was going to be money put aside to backstop for any damage that might possibly have occurred because of the agreement. The dairy producers has indicated, we think that if we get this market, we get an opportunity, we may not even have to go into that, or certainly may not have to take all of it. That disappeared when the Liberals took over. And now we are in a situation where they have given away even more concessions to the United States, Class 6 and 7 milk, other issues as far as overproduction or production that we might have if we wanted to sell baby formula around the world. So those are the kinds of things that happen on the dairy front, and I think that's significant. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.